folks. Welcome back. Let's start my session. All right. So last we left off with Torson and Diomedes was wandering up through the Arctic cold of a very tall and magical feeling mountain. And among other things, they had met a rival crawler gang of four elves that were tracking something and wanted nothing to do with our small party. So they made their way further on up the path, trying to find this mythical oracle, so to speak, to find answers. Both of them for different reasons. Torson for his just knowledge about the land that he is unaware of, and Diomedes, as of yet, Torson does not know, but wants to gain knowledge and power and things, and to acquire artifacts of power and everything for Mark Borian, the Minotaur maze in which he currently leads. So that's where we left off, and I had a behind-the-scenes episode that had just come out a bit ago, and I figured I would just keep going right into it. I took a little break from recording, had a headache, so I had to rest and recoup from that. But I think I am now back up for some role-playing. Okay, so what I have set up here is I have some dungeon tiles that I had previously picked out. You can check the episode about that. I think I released it yesterday as of this recording. Should have been the 4th of March. Anyway, so I have these set up in a way that is hopefully going to create something interesting. I don't know the layout per se yet. I did pick the tiles, and then I mildly organized them in a way that wouldn't bunch up everything all at once. So hopefully we get something interesting. And the last tile is going to be a way out or something. So hopefully the way that I have this set up, it'll be something interesting. And so I'm going to have these off to the side, up on top of the hourglass, the torch timer, so to speak, for the episode. I will actually have to move things and everything just so we can put the tiles out, because I kind of want the dungeon to be the focus of today's episode. But that being said, I'm going to move some stuff around, and we're going to move Torson and Diomedes character sheets up down here for right now. And this I'm going to keep here, because if I don't, then we get a nice bright reflection that I don't want. So we're just going to keep that there and build over top of it as needed. I do have my Shadowdark book off to the side here. I even have my GM screen off to the side in case I needs that. And I found, finally, my Ironsworn Starforged Ask the Oracle cheat sheet card thing here. And this is the thing I've been using whenever I needed to ask the GM a question. And I have been utilizing the match system in this. On a match, envision an extreme result or twist. So with that note, I will be rolling 2d10. Where's my other d10? Anyway, this is thrilling stuff. Anyway, I'll be rolling these two, and the darker one will be 10s, and this one will be 1. So that would be 24. But if any time I roll two of the same numbers on the faces, then the answer, whatever it is, yes, no, whatever, there will be a twist to it. And that adds some cool narrative things that we can throw in there and everything like that. The other thing is the pay the price. When you suffer an outcome of an action, we could roll on this. And this just adds some like narrative options. If I'm struggling on coming up with something, or if something doesn't seem obvious, I could roll on that. And these are just two things that are going to be right off camera, right up here, just so I can look at nice and easy. And of course, I am using the Solo Game Master's Guide as per usual for this. I always use it, and right now I have it up open to the Oracle action and theme oracles, just in case we need those. And I do want to go over a couple of things. I did make a personal, what do you call, not roll table, but sort of reminder about of the page numbers and the tables that I might be rolling on within this dungeon. So I picked out the Arctic, Cave, Mountain, Ruins, and Tomb encounter tables. So instead of rolling up a monster table, I would just roll up on those pre-existing tables, and if it makes sense, use it. If it doesn't, roll again. Because there are 1, 2, 3, 5 of them, I'm basically going to have a 1 to 4 be Arctic, and then 5 to whatever be Cave. In fact, I do need to write that down. In fact, the Arctic, I'm going to do 1 to 5, and then Cave is going to be 6 to 8. Mountain's going to be 9 to 13. Ruins going to be 14 to 17, and then 18 to 20 will be Tomb. So that's going to be the spread. That's fine by me. And then I wrote down the traps and hazard pages, the NPC pages, the rival crawler pages, the mapping pages, which is currently open, and the treasures. So these are just little, hotkeys for my session. I got tired of not remembering what pages to go to, so I'm just going to use this. And the name of this place is the Pillars of Crimson Death. And if I recall correctly, Diomedes sort of redirected the inquiry from Torson, and then had him come and follow him into the dungeon, or had Torson lead him into the dungeon, and said that fortune favors the bold type of thing. But as of right now, Diomedes cannot cast protection from evil because of a failed spellcasting check. He did not critically fail, so that's good. But I think the time of day is... it was the morning when they woke up, obviously, and the travel for the previous day wasn't a lot. I would say it's about midday or so. I can retcon that if I double check. My notes don't say what time of the day they left or anything like that, so nope. Torson, yeah. Okay, so this scroll is gone, so I need to rip up that scroll. As fun as that scroll could have been, he used it as a torch, so that goes in the garbage. All right, let us begin. It's been a little bit already, and we haven't even started, but the torch timer, as I have described, or as I have explained, is my hourglass, mostly for the episode, but also when that gets taken up, I will erase a torch. And I believe they stayed over that one night, and hopefully I remembered, but I don't think I did. I'm going to, just in case, say that they had to consume some rations that previous night, because I can't remember if they were able to get food or if I already marked it down, but I don't think I marked it down. So I'm going to mark it down. So they're down to one more day's worth of food before they start to have to possibly make some constitution checks down the road. So they probably have to forage or find some food, hopefully. Right. Curious and he's curious and convicted, and Torson is impulsive. Okay. Just some notes. I have not looked at this in a bit. I've been playing other things, so I'm just double checking. Yes. So I made the Minotaur have a charge per day, meaning his ancestry. What do you call trait? I guess he has 3 times a day he can move double near and then attack, and but it has to be a melee attack with his horns. There are modifications. I could have him do that with his great axe, but I'm using the horns and as his thing. So I also double checked. I was wrong earlier. A few episodes ago, I said that a character can only ever have 1 luck token. While that is true in the rules as written as intended in the game of Shadowdark, the pulp mode basically makes a luck token a currency to do lots of things. Now, I forget about the luck token already, so I'm going to see if I can't add more luck tokens to bring it to the front a little bit, to help add some narrative flair from time to time. As I have run this game, and it is pretty brutal. It can kill characters. It killed the first companion of Torson off before I had started recording for the world. His first companion died basically in the first major combat. Through circumstances and everything, just was unable to get free and to save. And poor Torson, with a -2 to his intelligence, you can guess how easy it was for him to make a stabilization roll. Not so good. And he had 1 turn left because the death timer was... I like the death timer, the D4 plus con or something like... I can't remember it off the top of my head, but it's basically a D4 rounds before they die type of thing. And on each roll, they could get a natural 20, and that's the only way that you can save yourself, which is really interesting. So it still gives a chance to pop back up and keep going. But I digress. Let us get going. Okay, so the procedure for me is the tiles themselves. As we explore, I'm going to flip over the tile and then place it down, whatever makes sense, because I don't want things to be a dead end, right away. But I'm going to place things down, and then we're going to populate this a la kind of a procedure as if the DM was populating the room. And then we will see what our heroes can do about it. Okay, so Torson and Diomedes. I found a Minotaur mini. I'm so happy. This one, I believe, was from... it was a set from D&D Minis game, or the adventure game, not the Wrath of a Shardalon or Temple of Elemental Evil, which is where these tiles came from. Not from that, but from an earlier set. and they had like actually terrain tiles and stuff, and it was like a beginner's box, not unlike the starter set and the essentials kit, but they actually had real minis inside, which I thought was really cool. Yes, Young Minotaur D&D basic game. So this is quite an old piece, but I finally found a mini for Diomedes, which makes me happy. Okay, so Torson is a little off right now. He's feeling a little not pushed, but he knows something is up, but he can't quite put his finger on it. But he tells Diomedes, "All right, let's get in here," and he starts his torch up. So I'm actually going to, before I forget, erase one of his torches anyway, because regardless of if he saves it or not, we're not going to. So let us flip over the first, an oubliette right away. Interesting. So what I think I'm going to do, just to make it interesting, is I'm going to have a T intersection. So I'm going to roll to see if there's anything inside this place first before they move into it. So I'm going to roll on the room type. So we already figured out this is definitely a small place. I can only fit so much on the table for it to fit in frame. So we're going to roll on the room type here. I'm going to move this stuff out of the way. A D10. It is a 6, an NPC. So we already know that we're going to be running into some sort of NPC. Now, I chose this tile just because it added some visual sort of things there. Is the NPC in the oubliette? And I'm going to say, just because I like the idea, is going to be likely. So I'm going to roll 2d10, and 75 or less, the NPC is inside this oubliette, and we'll ask about the oubliette in a minute. 19, so yes, as I tend to go for the darker color as the 10s, and the lighter colors as the 1s. Is just how my brain works. So 19, so yes, so there is an NPC underneath this oubliette, and they are going to move together, so they're going to move in a crawling rounds. I'm not going to be doing individual initiative here. Doesn't make sense in a solo game, so they're going to move into the next tile, and that is effectively their near move. And so they're going to look around and see if they can spot anything. And I know that these little X's on this tile for the other game is traps. I kind of want to see if there are going to be traps in here as well. So I'm going to actually say that is 50-50. 96, so that is yes, so definitely. So there are some traps in here, and I'm going to probably say it's probably the oubliette. The oubliette is trapped. The traps is on, traps are on page 114, and we're gonna roll on the traps, what kind of trap that the oubliette has. Let's see here, D12, make me get a different dice, of course. D12, what kind of trap? We got a 2, hail of needles. And the trigger, well, the trigger is going to be opening a door. And it's locked too. So it is locked, and we know there's an NPC down there. And we hear, I'm going to just roll up the quick NPC. Well, not a quick NPC, you know what I mean. 124. All right, NPCs. So let's make some notes. Oh, I'm so happy I'm playing this right now. All right, so we have, oops. So entryway is cold but empty. And then we have the room 1 is the oubliette room. Needle trap. And I believe that's a D4 for damage for the needle trap. 114. Ooh. The damage. Yeah, it's a D6. It's a D6. So D6 damage. And we could set the DC of this as well. I believe I even marked how much the standard, so there's easy as 9, then 12, and then 15, 18, and then I think 20 was impossible or something like that. I can't remember. So the oubliette room has the needle trap on the oubliette door. There's also an NPC in that space. Now, I really should have looked it up. I think an oubliette is just like a small room, kind of like a wine cellar, but it's just a space for storage normally, I think. But I might be talking out of my butt. Okay. I think what we need to do here is we got a few things going on. We have the NPC who is down there, and I sort of want to roll up the NPC first just to kind of get an idea on, is this NPC friendly? Is this NPC wants to be found? Is it, is it a special NPC? Yeah, I mean, I guess I could just roll up a, what do you call, the ancestry first, which is a D12. They are a 5. They're an elf. Okay. So we have an elf who is D8. Of course, I'm going to use all of my different dice today. All right. 8. So ancient. Ooh. Ancient. And alignment is a D6. 6. So chaotic. Ooh. Chaotic. Sounds, yep. And let's just see their wealth. Standard wealth. Okay. Okay, so we got an ancient elf, chaotic alignment. And let us name this elf for the sake of narrative. 12 on my elf list here is, on page 128, 12 is Tyr, T-Y-R. T-Y-R, Tyr. Tyr needs a last name. Let's do some names by syllables as a last name. 5, core 3. Cortosvisk. Oh, that's Cortos. That one's a little too hard for me. I'm gonna pick Sal because that one's easier for my brain. Saltosfisk. Tyr Saltosfisk is this ancient elf. Chaotic. So the thing about chaotic alignment in this game is that it's not necessarily evil and good. It's just, let's see, ancestry. Where is that? Deities here. See, this is the one thing I wanted to avoid, and I'm already doing it. There we go. Yeah. So, chaotic characters align themselves with destruction, ambition, and wickedness. Chaotic characters adopt a survival of the fittest mentality. So, it says wickedness, but that's not, again, that is a descriptor, not an identifier. So this person who is caught and it's locked and it's trapped. So is this person like there for a reason? I'm going to ask the Oracle and we'll see what the Oracle says. Is this person locked up on purpose? That doesn't make any sense. Is this person dangerous, and is that that's a leading question. I don't like leading questions with the Oracle because it implies too much. Yeah, I think I'm just going to ask the Oracle, is this person locked up for a reason? And I didn't pick a likeliness. I'm going to re-roll because I don't remember the odds that I think that this person is locked up for. So I think I'm going to do 50-50 because I just don't know. So 50 or less, 26. So yes, they are locked up for a reason. And because of their alignment, I'm going to say that they're locked up to protect, whatever's or was here, or maybe they're locked up in there for a reason, to protect others. But they have not triggered the trap or anything like that. And they probably don't hear them. So unless they make a noise up top, the NPC is not going to say anything. And Torson leans down and it's locked. Huh. Well, there's other places to check. Let's see what's up. So, rule of thumb for me is I'm going to go left. So we're going to go here. And so they decided not to check out the oubliette just yet. So they're going to go into space, the second encounter room is, interesting. So we got a larger space, but so there is a door here. Now I had door tiles, but I didn't want to dig them up. So I'm going to roll to see if this, is the door locked? I'm going to say likely, seeing as they have an oubliette right at the front, protecting, locked and basically trapped to keep something dangerous in. I'm going to assume that most of, or if not all, the doors are locked. So I'm going to say it's almost certainly locked. So 90 or less, this door is locked. 95. So this door is unlocked. Okay. So they see that there's this door and it's slowly, it is partially ajar. But let's roll to see what is inside. So let's roll a d10. And just for context, so a d10, we got a 7, a monster mob. Okay, so we know that we're going to be fighting some monsters of some sort. I am going to roll on my little cheat sheet table here on what kind of theme encounter table I'm going to roll on. So we're going to, so the monster mob for the room type, I'm just going to say that anything that is a monster or a boss monsters, I'm going to roll on the encounter tables. Just because I didn't want to make a whole monster table for this little dungeon. All right, we got 14. 14 on my little cheat sheet thing is ruins. So I'm going to roll on the ruins table on page 172. And let's see what we have. 172 ruins. Okay, let's roll a D100. Let's do these two. Black is 10s. 40. 40. All right, so 40 says a swarm of clattering gold scarab beetles flies into sight. Interesting. Interesting. So we have a open chamber with, was it gold 40 gold scarab beetles. Ooh, gold scarab beetles flies into sight. So as they step into this space, we get a swarm of scarabs. Now I'm gonna check our monsters. Again, this is not something that I went through extensively. I love these stats. They're nice and simple. But what am I looking for? Scarab or gold scarab? Probably just scarab. Yeah, scarab, so S. And if it doesn't match, I can pick something and then just, yeah, R, S. Scarab, here we go. A chittering cloud of iridescent oval-shaped beetles. All right, so we got our first encounter, and with this, and this is how I usually do most of my solo stuff. It's always, theater of the mind, and I don't really have any good minis right off the top of my head here for a swarm of scarabs. But what I can do is we're just going to use this little icon. I don't know what that is. It looks like some sort of rock dragon, lizard thing, but it's a visual representation how much space that they take up. So they walk into the space and this flies from off of this space into, and this is what they're focused on. There might be other things here, there might not. But right now we're just focused on this space. If they want to start running, then we can draw tiles if they need to. All right, so we got the gold scarab, the scarab swarm, AC of 14 HP, 2 bites at a +3. Okay, all right. And it can move near, so it can fly around. Okay, good. All right, so we got first and foremost, they are level 3. Yikes. Okay. First things first, I think yeah, because they didn't see this. So what a situation does not allow Diomedes to utilize his charge. But Torson is going to take his bastard sword and just immediately go right into it. He's going to change into his two-handed stance and bash down with a +4 and hopefully do D10 +1 since he has weapon mastery in the bastard sword. And he gets +1 because half his level is 1. All right, so let's roll D20, and their AC is 13, so he needs a 9 or higher to get this. So, and he gets a +4. So honestly, yeah, he needs a 9 or higher. 15, yes, so he hits. So he comes around and he tells Diomedes to get around the other side. I'm going to swipe him. And he swipes them and he deals D10 plus 1 damage. 8 plus 1 is 9 damage. So that is, they're at 14. They're at 5 hit points left. Wow, this might be just absolutely decimating, hopefully. And then it is Diomedes' turn, and he is going to attempt to hit with one-handed his great axe. He could cast Holy Weapon, but Holy Weapon is a that takes, yeah, so that's something that he could prepare himself or something else for. So right now he's just going to smash, as they say. All right, come on, come on, come on. So he gets +2, so he needs a 12. He rolls a 7 plus 2 is 9. So he misses that attack, and then the swarm buzzes and is going to try to hit and then probably flee, as it's not very it's not very smart. Yeah, like it's not very smart, but it's standard wisdom, so it might try to flee. Let us roll for the monster now, and the monster gets a 4, +3, so does not hit, but it gets another attack on probably Torson here. 13 plus 3 is 16. Hits Torson's armor class of 13 because his shield is not up. So he's going to do D6 of damage. Oh, 5 points of damage to Torson. Ouch. And Torson takes a bite in the shoulder, and he goes down to 11 from 16. And Torson goes, come on, let's finish it. But they are going to try to flee. Well, you know what? I'm going to ask the Oracle. Or I'm just going to do the standard and this, oh right, this is a deadly. I've been forgetting to roll random encounters. I'm going to do that after this combat, and I'm actually going to roll this 1, 2, 3 times for that. In fact, I'm going to do that now. Oops. 1. Okay, so we're going to have 1 random encounter. And, yep, okay. So we're going to have 1 random encounter come in. What is the random encounter going to be? We'll see. I'll roll on that table soon. All right. That is going to do what's the word? A morale roll. It's going to make a morale check, which I believe is part of running monsters, yada, yada, yada. What is the... Oh, no. Morale. Level 3, alignment neutral. Doesn't really have any sort of stats for that. So it's just a bunch of insects. So I'm going to say he's probably not going to. So it's going to stay there, and it's going to try to move out of the way a little bit, but that's fine. So Torson is going to move over and attack. 16 plus whatever definitely hits AC of 13 and does D10 of damage. He's still doing two-handed. Does 2 plus 1, 3 points of damage. I believe, nope, that's not enough. Man, that first hit was really awesome, but down to 2 health. Come on, Diomedes, let's finish it off. And then Diomedes swings, switches. I'm going to use this dice for him. 2. Come on, Diomedes, let's go. So he only got a 4. He misses. The scarab is going to do its 2 attacks. The black one is to Diomedes. The white one is to Torson. Oh, a 6 and an 8 plus 3. So both of them miss. As a reminder, Diomedes' AC is 13 and Torson's is 13 without his shield. So the scarab swarm is going around, but they're dodging out of the way and they're like rolling through and around all these skittering insects. But they successfully dodge out of the way, and it's back to their turn. I'm going to speed things up a little bit. I'm going to roll both of these for one of each of them, just in case one of them hits. So Torson does miss, and Diomedes also misses. They're just missing left and right. And if I think they are going to try to move like this, and the scarab is going to attempt to attack each of them again. 10 and 7, so miss, and plus 3 on this one is a hit. So that hits Torson with his AC of 13, unfortunately, for a total of 6 damage again. Oof! Torson is taking quite the beating. Torson, I could use the luck, but I'm not going to. Torson is down to 5. Yes, 5. 5 now. And he goes, Diomedes, healing, please! And then Torson is going to attack with a natural 1. Man, I love this game. Okay, so Torson whiffs badly, and I am actually going to have him as, you know what? I'm going to have him use his luck. He is feeling frustrated, and yep, I'm going to use his only luck, and I'm going to re-roll that. That would have been funny, but I think he really wants to end this. He's not feeling great, but he doesn't want to go down without a fight. 4 is still a miss. Wow, rolling like crap today. That's how I normally roll, by the way. If I ever GM, people love me because I roll like crap. All right, so he misses, and it's up to Torson to finish it off, but he sees his friend at 5 hit points. He could die, but he also knows that Torson, or Diomedes is in kind of a pickle. He could heal his friend, or finish it off and then heal. But I think what he's going to do is he's going to heal his friend. So he's going to go over next to his friend, and it's okay. And he's going to cast Cure Wounds. And he needs his spell DC is... Oh, geez. This is a tier 1, so is an 11. He needs an 11 on this. That dice, man. Oh, he fails. So, his touch does not restore anything. And so far, this has not been looking good for either of them. And he goes, oh no. And he can feel like the ebb of the life-giving energy kind of flicker and fade in his hand, and under his breath he goes, "Not no." And he has no luck. He can't use it either. And I believe, yep, that's it. That's all he can do. And now it's the Scarab's turn. Again, 2 attacks. And natural 20 on Diomedes, and a miss on Torson. Man, brain. Diomedes, natural 20. Criticals in this game. Let's see. Let us remind ourselves what criticals do. I think it's we get to double a numerical value on one of our dice. So with the Scarab, our Scarab, here we go. So it does a d6. So we could do a 2d6. So yeah, he's going to roll 2d6. Now this could straight up kill. Well, no, it could not. Diomedes is at 16, but this can severely damage him. So we're going to roll 2d6 for the bite attack on Diomedes. Okay, a 5 and a 1. That's not great, but it's also not the worst. So that's 6 points of damage. Diomedes takes a big old chunk out, and he gets knocked down to his knee and is being bit all over. Torson goes, "Healing, please." And he is going to try to finish this off with an attack. 18 plus his melee is 4. So that definitely hits. He's at 2 health. He's at 2. So honestly, he just needs to roll anything. Come on. His bastard sword attack is an 8. Is an 8 there. So he does enough damage to finally take care of the gold scarab beetles. Holy wow. That battle was hard won. Woo! Okay. So, deep breath. Are you okay? No, I'm not okay. Where was that healing? And remember, he is impulsive, and his first thought was, I needed healing. Why didn't you heal me? And Diomedes goes, calm. My connection was temporarily severed. Let me try it again. And but if you recall, there's a random encounter. So I'm going to roll on a random encounter table, and let us roll on the my little cheat sheet here. Table 18 is Tomb. So 182 on the Tomb. All right. So let us see what comes up while they're talking and while they're trying to heal. Not a D20. I need a D100. You know, I would like to get like a better dice tray. I like these for when I'm doing stuff, but I also like the dice to be, I don't know, yeah, doesn't matter. Okay, 84. Chanting acolytes lead a blood-anointed reaver. Okay, so some chaotic beings lead a blood-anointed reaver. So I don't know what a reaver is. Is that a monster? Let's just look in R real quick. BQR reaver. Reaver, a knight in blackened armor riddled with cruel barbs. Oh my god. AC of 17, 28 HP, Bastard Sword +3. Wow. Wow. And +2 damage with melee weapons, which is included. So 1d8 +2. Holy crap. That's awful. Just want to double check some monster stuff. And then Acolytes, which I believe is, there are just standard Acolyte. Yep, so they are level 1. Oh my god, they can heal. So they're basically walking around healing this knight. So I'm actually going to yeah. So let's do this. Let's add that. And I'm gonna say that the Acolytes and the yeah, let's just put these as the Acolytes and this guy as the knight. They come up here as they are doing their thing. Okay, so they are. I could also roll to see how far away that is. So the starting distance. Let's do the starting distance. 1, so close. So they actually maybe come through this door instead. Yeah, that makes sense. So they actually come through this open door right as a Diomedes is attempting to cast again Cure Wounds on Torson. Come on. Is that a 5 or a 15? 15. Okay, so that is a success for Cure Wounds, and he is level 3. So he gets 1 plus half his level, which is still 1. So he gets 2d6 of healing. So 7 points of healing is great. That brings him back up to 12 HP. 12 HP for Torson. See? We're still good. I still have my powers. And just when that happens, the doors burst open and they have to move back. And I think they are led by the what is it? The Reaver, the Tomb. 84. 2d4 chanting acolyte. So let's roll. Let's cut that in half though, because solo and only 2 players or 2 characters. So 2d4. So 1d4. So 2 of them. So there's 2 of these guys. Lead a blood anointed Reaver. Okay, so this guy is behind them, and the acolytes burst, through the door. And I will say that while they're talking, that's why they didn't hear the chanting. But I will give them a roll to hear the door before they open to make a move to do something. And I don't know what that's going to be yet, but something. I will say, though, I am looking over at my little hourglass, and I am noting that the torch is about to go out here. Okay, so we got both of them are going to make probably a wisdom roll here, just to be aware of their surroundings a bit. White is Torson, black is Diomedes, and come on, Diomedes. He's got +3, and Torson's got -1. Okay, -1, though, is 18, which is fine, and that beats all the DCs that, of course, if I am notorious for forgetting to set the DC. I really should put a note, like, right here, in, like, a card. Set your goddamn DC. So, I will say that Torson goes, "Shh! I hear chanting." And then just as that happens, they burst through. They are chaotic, but I want to, and I think the Reaver is also chaotic. I'm pretty sure. I'm going to look it up real quick in my handy dandy monster bestiary. PQR. All right, Reaver is chaotic. Yep. Wow. A knight with cruel barbs. Okay, so this is definitely not a good guy. He's level 6 too. I don't think that we can handle these guys. But I do want to roll their reaction. So I'm gonna roll 2d6, and the charisma is +1 on either one of these guys. So let's just roll the acolytes. So 6 on the their attitude is hostile, plus their 7. Oh, so it goes from 0 to 6 is hostile, which is kind of a lot of the numbers. Is hostile. 7 to 8 is suspicious, and 9 is neutral. So 7, their charisma modifier bumps it up just into suspicious. So I'm going to basically read that as they come through, and for whatever reason, there's a pile of dead, obviously dead insects. And Torson goes, "Oh, we just got rid of this for you." Exactly that. And right as they say that, the basically this Reaver steps through with this long barbed like a sword, and does this. It's funny. I am drawing a blank on the Reaver's sort of inspiration. The first thing that I thought of was like some sort of Death Knight. And the Reaver and the Acolytes. So these guys are something special. I'm going to note this. Scarabs, and then 2 Acolytes and a Reaver. I'm going to write page 247. This is just for my notes. 247. Walk through. And what's funny is about this place is that they're holding torches themselves. The 2 acolytes are, and because they are humans, and this Reaver is not. And something tells me that there's something more going on with this. So I'm actually going to highlight this little entry here for myself, because there's something more. This might add something to the world and everything like that. And I'm going to roll for the torch now. 6 stays lit, but it's definitely flickering. And Torson goes, I think we're going to have to talk our way out of this, man. And Diomedes goes, well, I don't think we'll be able to talk to him. And he points to the Reaver. And the Reaver I'm going to roll for his reaction separate, because he was not in there. 10 is curious. Interesting. We've been getting some really interesting NPC and like monster rolls, and the Reaver kind of slowly looks over at both of them, and just in this guttural, low language that neither of them understand. A chill runs down both of their spines. And Torson goes, oh no. And just then his torch snuffs out. And that's where we're going to end it today, folks. My timer went off, so I think I'm going to wrap things up here. And I believe I'm going to continue recording here in a minute, and I'll do another episode as well. So hopefully I'll have 2 episodes ready for the future. But until next time, folks, I'll see you on the flip side.